I grew up in a family of migrant farmers until second grade. We lived in a 3-room house with no running water and an outdoor bathroom. My mom, a true matriarch. She's always praying for the family. My dad, he raised us tough. He taught us how to be fearless. And he pretty much taught us to be the best at whatever we were doing. I started wrestling in 7th grade in an organized program. I did play football and lacrosse, but wrestling was the sport that fit like a glove. I was very fortunate in high school to have Coach Campo, Coach Joe Campo. He was hands down the best wrestling coach that I've ever had. By the time I graduated from high school, I was ready to compete in college at the highest level. I got very interested in Iowa State when they brought me out on a recruiting trip. And Coach Nichols, my college coach, he reminded me a lot of Coach Campo. And when Coach Nichols offered me a full scholarship, I decided right then that I would attend Iowa State, and that was my last visit. Wrestling at Iowa State, I loved everything about it. I loved my teammates. I loved the competition that we went up against. I loved the travel. I loved the crowds that we had. And it was just a lot of fun when you're able to win national championships or do very well on a national level. During my time at Iowa State, there were 6 wrestlers who were 2-time NCAA champions. And I also had 3 of my teammates that were Olympians, 2 gold medalists and 1 bronze. Those wrestlers being Dan Gable, Ben Peterson, and Chris Taylor.
As a teammate at ISU, Carl Adams was very talented, but his best attribute was his ability to help create great teams that were made up of different individuals. They all respected him to the utmost.
At the time, I also had Les Anderson, who was an assistant coach. He was a former 2-time national champion. And I also had Bobby Douglas as an assistant coach.
Carl was unique. He was physically gifted, mentally tough, and possessed one of the great attributes of wrestling, speed, that very few people can compete with.
Winning national championships for Iowa State, the experience was incredible because I felt like you weren't just doing it for yourself. You were doing it for all the people that followed you over the many years. My most memorable opponent in college was probably Stan Desick. We ended up wrestling in the national finals against each other. We both had won the year prior. And so that was a big, big match for, I think, both Stan and I. So to be in the finals and win 2 times, I felt like it was probably a highlight of my wrestling career, winning those national championships. Bobby Douglas, he was the one that really pushed me towards freestyle. I won the National Freestyle Tournament in 1973. I won again in 1975. In 1975, I also made the world team and placed 5th in the World Championships. That same year, I won a silver medal in the Pan American Games, and I was 3rd in the World Cup. When I graduated from Iowa State, I had no idea of what I was going to be doing after I got my degree. However, Coach Nichols knew exactly what I wanted to do. I don't know what Coach Nichols saw in me, but I sure am happy that he pushed me into the coaching profession when I ended up in New England at Rhode Island University and Boston University. I coached at the 2 institutions for a total of 35 years, and I felt like the camps that I put on, the competition that I brought to Rhode Island and Boston University, I felt like it really helped grow the sport of wrestling in New England. And I thought that it also helped improve the quality of wrestling in New England.
I saw him writing his books in his office. I saw him putting pen to paper and designing some of his wonderful products that he put on the wrestling market. And most of all, I saw firsthand how he led his guys and how he led his team and how he inspired and taught those young men.
When I was a senior in college, I was blessed to have Carl Adams become my college wrestling coach. Carl was always creating new opportunities to make wrestling a better sport and to build the sport.
I am most proud of all of the things that I brought to the market that wrestlers and coaches could use to reach their full potential. I feel like the equipment, the books, the instructional videos, the camps, I felt like they reached thousands of wrestlers and coaches. And I'm at a point where I've gotten enough feedback to know that it really helped a lot of people.
He was a Hall of Fame human. That's the first step towards all of his success in wrestling, was the kind of man he is and the way that he makes a difference in the lives of others.
I met my wife, Linda, in college. We have 5 beautiful and successful kids. And to me, family is everything. And I believe that's the reason why I'm here today receiving this Hall of Fame honor. Being inducted into the Hall of Fame, for me, is the highest honor that you could possibly receive as a wrestler, coach, or someone who contributed to the sport. I kind of refer to it as wrestling heaven.